My turn. I came real early. It's like rush seats at a rock concert. I just want to get your reaction. It's hard to read this. To a statement made by the person involved where she says that the incident referred to in the editorial did occur as reported. Mr. Trudeau did apologize the next day. I did not pursue the incident at that time and will not be pursuing the incident further. I've had no subsequent contact with Mr. Trudeau before or after he became Prime Minister. And then she says, the debate, if it continues, will continue without my involvement. So could you please give a reaction to that?
Obviously, over the past weeks, since this news resurfaced, I've been reflecting, we've all been reflecting on past behaviors. And as I've said, I'm confident that I did not act inappropriately, but I think the essence of this is that people can experience interactions differently. And part of the lesson we need to learn in this time of collective awakening is a level of respect and understanding for the fact that people, in many cases women, experience interactions in professional contexts, in other contexts, differently than men. I apologized in the moment because I had obviously perceived that she had experienced it in a different way than I acted, or I experienced it. And I think this reflection as we move forward needs to continue in our communities, in our places of power, in our places of work. There is an awakening going on, and we need to take opportunities to continue to reflect on it. This is something that I've been involved in for well over 20 years in my student activism and in the outreach that I've done, and there's always more to do and more to reflect on.
How do you feel, though, about the fact that she's now issued a statement saying she's not going to be involved in any of the further, he's not going to be involved in any stories going forward, and nor does she want to pursue this in any way? How do you feel about that?
As I've said from the very beginning, I would never presume to speak for her or to have a perspective on how she should feel or should act on this. I respect very much her right and her ability to make choices about what is best for her and her family, and I obviously will continue to stand as a defender of understanding and respect for individuals and the experiences they go through.
This situation has basically officially said that she won't make any further statement with this. How do you think people should be handling this at this point? What is this over? Will you continue to answer questions about it? How do you look at it?
I will continue to talk about this as much as people have questions about it. This is really another important example of the kind of reflections we all have to have as a society about our behaviors and about specifically how what can be viewed as fine behavior on behalf of one person might be perceived and experienced very differently from someone else. I think there is an awakening going on right now, and I think it's a good thing, but it also requires all of us to be having difficult conversations, difficult reflections, and model the kind of responsibility and reflections that we have to have moving forward. You
are attending Mr. Hare's Stampede Breakfast tomorrow. Mr. Hare lost his cabinet post essentially in relation to an allegation. For some people, they won't see much difference between what was alleged against him and what is alleged against you. How do you see the difference between those two things?
I think people understand that every situation is different, and we have to reflect and take seriously every situation on a case-by-case basis, and that's exactly what we're endeavoring to do in any range of situations that come forward. Different organizations are struggling with similar challenges, and we all need to really focus on how we can move forward in a way that respects and supports people coming forward and allows for processes and reflections and learning while we move through it.